Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening. New York is set to receive over $11 billion from the federal infrastructure package. The money will be divided and sent to communities throughout the state. Big Fox's Matt Kleindens joins us with a look at Elmira's share of the funds.
Good evening, Jennifer. Elmira is set to receive millions of dollars from the infrastructure package that passed the House this week. Senator Chuck Schumer says the money will be used as part of the largest federal investment into public transportation.
The motion is adopted.
With the passing of the infrastructure package, New York communities are set to receive $11 billion over the next 5 years. Of that amount, Elmira is set to receive $10.3 million in that same time span. The money will be used to invest in public transit agencies to improve infrastructure. Some of the expected investments include expanding service, hiring more workers, and replacing old transit buses with new zero-emission buses. In a statement, Senator Chuck Schumer said the money for New York Transit will help create jobs, improve transit infrastructure, and improve service for commuters. President Biden is expected to sign the infrastructure bill into law on Monday. Matt Kleindens, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
Today, Attorney General Letitia James began the rolling release of documents in the investigation of former Governor Andrew Cuomo. The documents include transcripts and corresponding exhibits related to the sexual harassment allegations against Cuomo. The AG's office says it is releasing the transcripts to comply with the state's discovery laws. Today's release includes depositions from Cuomo and 10 women who filed complaints against him. Those documents can be found on the AG's website. Big Fox News has learned that former Corning City Mayor Frank Cuomo has passed away. Cuomo dedicated over 30 years of service to Corning as a councilman, deputy mayor, and mayor. He served as Corning's deputy mayor from 1996 until 2001 before being elected mayor in 2005. Cuomo had also represented the 6th and 8th wards while working on the city council. He was 77 years old. If you're over the age of 18, Pfizer booster shots could soon be coming to a pharmacy near you. Griff Jenkins has more from Washington.
It's official. Pfizer asking federal regulators for permission to give booster shots to all Americans over the age of 18, potentially adding a new layer of protection heading into the holidays. Pfizer says its data shows the boosters were 95% effective in preventing COVID hospitalizations and deaths, but it's far from a done deal. The company is expected to face tough questions from FDA officials about whether boosters are needed for the general public.
We're talking about lowering a risk with a booster from 1 in 3,000 to 1 in 30,000, which is about the reduction we may see in people over 65.
The push for boosters comes as legal challenges to vaccine mandates are accelerating. A federal judge has allowed United Airlines to move forward with its mandate, one of the first tests of a big company requiring vaccines for employees. But 11 states have already filed lawsuits aimed at stopping President Biden's federal mandate, saying the White House is going beyond the scope of its authority.
We have a responsibility to protect Floridians regardless of those mandates.
The Biden administration firing back, accusing some governors of putting politics before public health.
Why are these legislators, these Republicans, getting in the way of that, getting in the way of saving lives, getting in the way of us making sure that the economy is working?
The feds are also moving ahead with a major push to get 5 to 11-year-olds vaccinated. The CDC says so far, more than 360,000 kids in that age group have rolled up their sleeves. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
Another worrisome economic indicator released by the Labor Department today showing consumer prices are on the rise. It's happening just before the Thanksgiving holiday and as Congress intends to vote on another massive spending package. Madeline Rivera has a closer look from Washington.
Americans are shelling out more for everyday items like food and gas. Inflation in October coming in hotter than expected, with people now paying 6.2% more for goods than they were a year ago, the largest annual increase in 30 years.
The American people are mad, and they realize that we're not going in the right direction.
Meat, fish, and eggs up 11.9%, beef rising 20.1%, electricity spiking 6.5%. The Biden administration pointing to supply chain disruptions as the driving factor behind the price increases.
The pandemic continues to poke holes in our ability to get goods to where they need to go.
Republicans warn the price jumps are another red flag for Democrats to pump the brakes on a nearly $2 trillion social spending bill they argue would only overheat the economy.
What's on people's minds are the fact that, again, they may not be able to get the things they need for Thanksgiving. If they do, it's going to cost more. If they travel, it's going to cost more.
House Democrats are still pressing for a floor vote on the bill next week. The Federal Reserve has said inflation is transitory, but some economists are questioning that sentiment, warning things could get worse before they get better. In Washington, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
The legal fallout from the deadly stampede at last week's Astroworld Festival continues to grow. Dozens of lawsuits have now been filed as we learn new details about the security protocols at the concert. Casey Stegall has more.
That was probably one of the scariest things that I've ever been through. Gates had fallen. Police were everywhere.
18-year-old Jonathan Espinoza describing the moment the crowd began surging at last week's deadly Astroworld Festival. More than 36 victims and families have now filed lawsuits, many claiming that concert organizers should have had better safety measures in place and that rapper Travis Scott should have stopped the show when chaos erupted.
Anybody who encouraged or enraged the audience into coming together as this big mass wave of people crushing together, those people have to be concerned.
Travis Scott maintains he wasn't fully aware of what was happening while he was performing. According to TMZ, he left the concert Friday evening and went straight to an after party, but reportedly left once he was informed of the tragedy. Meantime, investigators are looking into how closely event security followed safety protocols. The president of Houston's Firefighters Union says the fire department asked concert organizers for a radio to communicate with emergency medical providers on site. He says instead they were only given cell phone numbers.
The difference between getting to somebody in a minute or 5 minutes is critical when somebody's in need.
Houston authorities say they are still in the very early stages of investigating what exactly went wrong. That's the latest from Dallas. Casey Stegall, Fox News.
New York City is known for the Statue of Liberty and, of course, the soaring skyscrapers. But now, instead of just riding an elevator to the top of one of these high locations, you can actually hang off the side. Marianne Rafferty has an inside look at an adrenaline junkie's playground in the clouds.
Gate is open! Thrill seekers now have a new way of getting an adrenaline rush by harnessing up and scaling the side of a New York City skyscraper with the help from a city climb guide.
We are on top of 30 Hudson Yards in the middle of New York City, nearly 1,300 feet in the air. It's awesome.
But what's being called the world's highest external building climb involves more than just walking up a staircase towering over Manhattan. Once visitors get to the top of the platform, they have an opportunity to push themselves even further by leaning off the side.
We know it's safe, and if you trust in us and you trust in the equipment and you trust in our process, you will be very proud of what you can do.
It's like if you don't think about it, it doesn't feel that bad.
30 Hudson Yards is about less than 500 feet shorter than One World Trade Center, the tallest building in the Big Apple. And at these heights, the only noise rivaling the roaring gusts of wind are the victory yells from people conquering their fears.
We're also then going to have those people who really want to prove to themselves that they can overcome not only their fears or their hurdles. This is going to be a magnificent, life-changing experience for some people.
The City Climb Experience just opened this month and cost $185. The only things preventing operation are severe weather events and temperatures below 23 degrees. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Still ahead tonight, it may be a good time to adjust your bedtime to keep your heart healthy.
What time do you normally go to bed?
Around 11:30 to 12:30.
Around midnight. Oh, 12, 1, pretty late.
What time some researchers suggest going to sleep to lower your risk of developing heart disease.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Tonight's Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. It's been a pretty nice day. Temperatures a little bit warmer than normal, but for tonight, those temperatures will be plunging down. It's going to be a colder start to the day tomorrow than it was this morning, where lows were in the 40s. Clouds will increase during Veterans Day, and then showers will arrive Thursday night into Friday. Over the weekend, colder air will start to settle in, so we're going to need that winter coat. In fact, we do have the possibility of rain and snow for this weekend. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. But for tomorrow, temperatures will still be mild. I'm expecting highs to be back into the upper 50s, and so it is going to be a little bit warmer than normal. Our average high right now is around 51 degrees, and we'll do better than that tomorrow. But clouds will greatly increase by the evening, and it looks like showers will return. But during the day, I'm expecting mainly dry conditions, even though those clouds will start to thicken up. Rain will approach from the Midwest as a low pressure system moves through, and there is a cold front associated with it as well. So by Thursday night, it looks like that rain will be dragging into the Twin Tiers. Behind it, very windy and very cold conditions for your Friday and Saturday. So it is going to get quite chilly as we head into the latter part of this week. So for tomorrow, no rain chances during the day, but that will change from Friday into the weekend and possibly even into Monday. In addition to that, it is going to be pretty cold enough where we could see some snow. So our future radar is showing quiet weather for tonight. Again, we are going to have a few passing clouds during the day tomorrow. The high pressure system that's over the region will keep the rain away until the evening hours. Look at what happens as we approach the 9 o'clock hour. Showers develop, and there could be maybe even some moderate rain, especially in the northern tier of Pennsylvania. But showers possible in Bath and also in Hornell, and then scattered showers in the morning hours that will last through about noon on Friday before it moves away. And then we have another batch of rain coming in over the weekend. But it will be cold tonight, freezing 32 degrees, partly cloudy skies with winds coming from the south. Tomorrow, highs around 58 degrees, much like today. Maybe just a tad cooler, and we are expecting a lot of cloud cover, and those winds will also pick up as well. On Friday, look for highs around 60 degrees and a big drop in our temperatures over the weekend. Highs only in the 40s. That will last through early next week, but take a look at our overnight lows. They will be back into the 30s. So just it looks like the growing season is definitely coming to an end, and there is the possibility of some snow with these cold temperatures.
A nonprofit in Milwaukee is using guitars to help veterans cope with post-traumatic stress disorder. Sam Kramer shows us how a few chords and camaraderie provide some much-needed therapy.
You're on, baby. We got your beat going. So A.
When this group gathers around,
Here we go.
everyone from teacher to student finds their tune.
It's opened up a whole new world for me.
After serving in Operation Enduring Freedom,
I found myself frustrated and disconnected from the world around me.
Scott Savecco was looking for guitar lessons for his son. Instead, he found harmony in circles like this. Free lessons from Guitars for Vets.
It's showing that we care. We care about what they've been through. It takes a lot of focus.
Bill Brown is one of the nonprofit's volunteer instructors, teaching veterans to play the guitar.
Your mind is just, they're not thinking about PTSD, drugs, alcohol. They're in their own world trying to figure out these chords.
Since 2007, the nonprofit's opened 150 chapters nationwide,
There you go.
expanding its mission to help veterans like Aaron Gansenmuller find their purpose after service.
They say that music is healing, and that's something that I've definitely resonated with.
It's therapy to ease the transition from military to civilian life, where sometimes all they need is a little rhythm.
It's one thing just to kind of sit and listen to music, listen to a song, but then it's something else to, take it into your hands and make something that is just an instrument that's quiet.
A new study looks at the time you go to bed and what impact it could have on your heart. Linda Schmidt has more on the study and why some health experts say while the study is interesting, more research is needed.
Well, first of all, I swear the 10 o'clock news had nothing whatsoever to do with this study. However, the results are definitely benefiting us in a little bit of a way here. It's saying that the healthiest time to go to bed at night is sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock. What time do you normally go to bed?
Around 11:30 to 12:30.
Around midnight. Oh, 12, 1, pretty late.
We hear about sleep studies all the time. This latest one from a research university in England says if you want to lower your risk of heart disease, go to sleep sometime between 10 and 11 p.m.
That would be interesting.
The study is based on data from more than 88,000 participants in England. It found that people who go to sleep between 10 and 11 p.m. had a lower risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
It's a provocative finding.
Dr. Michael Goifman is a cardiologist. He is not associated with this study, but he says with this particular study, it is impossible to conclude that your bedtime affects your heart.
All that the researchers noticed is that patients who, let's say, went to sleep at a certain time tended to have less heart attacks. It's possible that the two are completely unrelated and it was just a big coincidence.
Dr. Goifman says a more thorough study is needed.
If a person is going to sleep at 12, would I say if you go to sleep 11, you'll live longer? I mean, it's possible, but I can't prove that, and neither can the researchers.
8,000 pounds of turkey donated to a California food bank. It's a donation given so families in need have a meal this Thanksgiving. Aiton Wallace has more.
In this semi-truck, precious cargo. 8,000 pounds of turkey that will feed people and families in our community who may otherwise not be able to afford a Thanksgiving meal. The turkeys are a donation from Foster Farms to the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services, where Blake Davis is the CEO. Tell me about the significance of this donation.
Well, it's very significant, and we've had a long relationship with Foster Farms, and this just goes a long way to helping our organization feed so many people.
8,000 pounds of turkey seems like a huge number, and it is. It's enough for 10,000 servings this Thanksgiving. All of this expected to make a major difference this holiday.
All of these things that we see on this table cost more than they did last year. It's going to be very difficult for wonderful families trying to put a good meal on the table, and this partnership goes a long way to helping do that.
And it's just one of several partnerships Foster Farms has with nonprofits across the region. This year, Foster Farms plans to donate 64,000 pounds of turkey to food banks across the West Coast. And as for this food bank, their big donation drive is this Friday. They enthusiastically welcome a donation of any amount.
And every dollar you donate, we can provide 5 meals.
Meals that will surely bring a whole lot of gratitude to this community.
Here's one kind way to show your appreciation tomorrow. Take someone who served our country out for a treat. Many businesses are offering deals for veterans. At Dunkin' Donuts, veterans and active duty military can receive a free donut at participating locations. At Krispy Kreme, veterans can score a free donut and a small hot, iced, or brewed coffee. At IHOP, veterans can choose to order free red, white, and blue pancakes or a pancake combo from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And at Starbucks, those who have served our nation can get a free tall 12-ounce hot brewed coffee at participating locations. Proof of service may be required to get those discounts. Zillow is unloading 2,000 homes as it dismantles its house flipping business. The Wall Street Journal reports the company is selling those homes to Pretium partners. The price of the deal was not disclosed. The homes are in 20 markets across the U.S., and Pretium is planning to rent them out. Zillow still has 18,000 more homes to sell. A Good Samaritan and 2 police officers jumping into action to pull a pizza delivery driver out of a flooded canal. Stephanie Buffamonte has the story.
The doors are locked. I can't get them open.
That's James Small, who ran out to help when he heard the pizza delivery driver in the car screaming for help. His wife called 911.
The water in the car was up to her waist at that time, and my neighbor brought the hammer and I was unable to break the window on the side.
Port Orange Patrol Sergeant Andrew Malky came to the rescue.
And I knew that if I broke the back window out, that she could, try to climb out through the back.
Climb out the back! Come on!
He says the woman inside couldn't move and the doors were locked, so Officer Nicholas Kalenda went toward the front.
I knew once I broke out the window, the vehicle was going to start taking on a lot more water much faster. So at that point, getting her out of the car was absolutely paramount.
You can hear the woman's screams become muffled as the car sunk.
I was able to find her, grab her, and eventually pull her out and get her head above water immediately.
I got her! You got her?
Small is thankful he was home so they could make that 911 call.
The officers showed up really quick. Had it been another 5 minutes, she probably wouldn't have made it.
The officers are heroes to that woman, but still humble at heart.
That's what I signed up to do. That's why I wear the badge and I put the uniform on every day, is to help people. We were just glad she was safe and we were able to get her out of the water safely, and she's okay and she gets to go home.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. An 83-year-old man breaking an amazing feat, becoming the oldest person ever to hike the Appalachian Trail. MJ Sonny Eberhardt, also known as the Nimblewood Nomad, began the hike back in February at his home in Flag Mountain, Alabama. He hiked the trail in sections to take advantage of weather conditions before completing the journey thousands of miles away at a friend's house in western Massachusetts. Eberhardt is no stranger to long hikes and once trekked more than 4,000 miles from the Florida Keys up to northern Quebec. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.